When we're kids, we have this perfect way of being present and living in the moment. We experience moments for what they are. And as we get older, that feeling kind of fades away. I don't think that feeling is ever really supposed to fade away. When I was young, my dad used to throw me up in the air and catch me on the way down. I wanted to make sure that I never lost that sense of childhood. So this year, when I turned 18 in February, I decided to jump off of a plane. Sure, my dad wasn't at the bottom waiting to catch me, but I had that same feeling of living. You see, when we are kids, we never think to ourselves, I could be more successful, or I should be farther in life. We just accept where we are and be happy with what we have. That's what this whole entire year has been for me, and it's what I hope the rest of my life will be. In March, I decided to take a friend and go on a couple-month road trip. There were so many good things that happened, and so many bad things that happened as well. Just like how life is. If we focus on all of our problems, we go on a downward spiral. We convince ourselves that life is terrible, when in reality, we aren't even trying to see the beauty. Sure, there are bad times in life, and even this year, I've probably gone through some of my lowest lows that I've ever gone through in my life. But at the same time, I've also gone through some of the highest highs in my life. Beauty isn't always what we see, it's how we see it. Because if you're going through a rough time, it's hard to believe that what you're going through isn't just darkness surrounding you. I realized that it's actually just light making itself more clear. If all we knew was light, we would think that it's dark. We would never be able to appreciate the beauty of the sun. And if we never saw darkness, we would never see the stars or even the moon. The trials in our life are what allow us to enjoy the goodness of living. So during my road trip, I got to experience the wonders of the world that God has created for us. I met so many beautiful souls along the way, and every human being I met had a story of why they are the way that they are. Even the people who eventually ended up leaving my life, whether I knew it at the time or not, they still made an impact on my life. Maybe it was small, but my story would not be the same without them. And I believe that everything that happens to us shapes us into who we are meant to become. God has given each and every one of us a wonderful purpose on this earth, and it's our job to take that step of faith into the path that God has set out for us. We already have everything that we need. Just trust in the Lord and let Him take the way from there. During my trip, I climbed this really tall tree. And honestly, it was one of the scariest things that I've ever done in my life. But when I got to the top, the views were just incredible. Looking out for miles and miles into the valley, I knew that it was all worth it in the end. Just like how life is supposed to be. We become face to face with mountains taller than we've ever imagined. Though it seems scary at times, there's a charm and joy to be found in it. God has gotten me over these mountains so many times, and He's shown me that life isn't really as bad as we make it out to be. Life is genuinely such a beautiful thing that we are so blessed to be able to experience, both the good and the bad. It's all so amazing to me, and the simple fact that I am here, breathing the air around me, is just a miracle. Sure, it doesn't always feel like it at times, but there are so many little joys that you can find in all that we live through. Nothing happens just by coincidence. There is a greater purpose than what our eyes can see. So even when good things come to an end, we can know that's not all there is. Because endings are also beginnings. When the sun sets, it's also making a beautiful sunrise somewhere else. Just like I said earlier, I never want to lose that sense of childhood. I went on another adventure, and the little girl across the street from my house reminded me of how free life can really be. I would see her dancing like nobody's watching, feeding the chickens, playing with her dog, or jumping on a trampoline. And maybe I won't be a kid again, but I never want to lose that kind of mindset that she had. She wasn't worried about what she looked like or how many people liked her. She just cared about living her everyday life in a way that she could find happiness in the little things. I guess what I'm trying to say here is, stop trying to be a version of yourself that you are not. Be you. Be the version of you that is filled with the most joy and love. You're alive, so go live. No, I'm not trying to say go out, get drunk, and forget the night. I'm just saying that there are so many things in this life that can naturally make us happy. Go dance in the rain, splash in some puddles, sing at the top of your lungs, go for a long drive with your windows down, wear whatever you want. We aren't created to suffer. We were created to find joy in God. So today, decide to live the beautiful life that you have been blessed with. There is so much more to life than what most people think. Who said that you had to be married at 24 or have a career set by 25 or raise 3 kids by 30? I don't remember anyone saying that we have to live life as a reflection of the people that we grew up around. You are not anyone else. You are you. God created each and every one of us so perfectly, and nobody in this world, not even you, have the power to change that. You being you is what will leave an impact on this world. Not you trying to live someone else's life because that's what you think you want. You need to find out who God says you are. Because you're chosen, you're valued, you're loved, and you are a child of God. God is in everything, whether it's a sunset, the sound of a baby, the smile of a stranger, laughs with your family, and even in all the bad that we go through. In all the moments that we feel He isn't there, just know that He is. God is greater than the highs and the lows of our life, reminding us that no matter what season we are in, there is so much beauty to be found. Don't base your joy off of your circumstances. Base your joy on who God is. He's with you, working in your life every single day, and loving you every second that you're alive. So instead of letting yourself believe that lie, that what you feel is all that your life will ever be, just know that we will see the light again, just as we have every single other time.